What's up, all you naughty nano boosters? We're back, baby. It's the Watchpoint post show, and we're hitting you live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, that place. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Chris Puckett. I've got my friends, including our brand new tennis coach, Brenji.
So glad to have to be here, Puckett. I almost messed up my intro there. I got a little bit nervous.
Is this proper, Brent?
So this is tennis coach Brent pulling it out. Pleased with today's matches. I think I'll play you all a little tune.
No, please. That was wonderful.
Moving on. Did you know that there was a Game 3 to the Charge versus Spark match today?
I did, yes. It was
good.
great. It was actually really entertaining. This game went back and forth.
Is excellent. It started off all Charge 2-0 at the half. Remember, Charge, the lower seed in this battle. The Spark, well, they seem to get a little bit of movement moving here in our third game. It ended up in a draw, guys.
It was a weird one, honestly, because it seemed like Hangzhou Spark were in control of this map, but because, the Guangzhou Charge were in control of this map, but because Spark managed to cap point A so quickly, even though they got held on B forever, they still managed to complete the map. It was very strange.
Yep, but it ended up in a draw in the end.
It did, Brent, it did.
It did. I did watch the game, so. But honestly, I think a couple of notable players that we need to point out as well that we don't talk about. We mentioned Hopper at the halftime. Dead impressed with this guy. He's a phenomenal player. He's always been known for his flexibility, right? And honestly, moving forward, this looks like a very, very good meta for him. Like, Charge, they keep this going. I mean, they were kind of on the table in terms of making the top 12 for their play-in tournament, but they keep up putting up results against better teams. I can really see them making a run for it when it comes to the playoffs.
This was one of the sickest sleeps of the day. The Nano Blade take a nap. Shu helps the Charge capture all 3 points and opens it up for Nero, who gets the 4K to seal the deal.
A lot of them were very intentional. It was very counter reaction to whatever they saw from the enemies, and I want to see more of that. They didn't stuck with a like specific comp or with a specific plan they had. They were very reactive, and I like that.
Yeah, a lot more than a lot of other teams, I think, as well. And that's something that I thought as well watching them. And I'm a big fan of this. I think that these teams are still kind of in a fluctuation stage, but they know what adaptations to make on the fly. Can't say the same for a lot of other teams in the league right now, which kind of gives them an edge.
It's a big win for the Charge. You can see currently at number 10. They're one match win away from going back to 500. They're within -5 map count. They're starting to climb their way in towards that top 6. And the Spark, they started the day at number 4. They are now officially on the bubble.
I would say it's actually going to be pretty difficult for the Spark to stay in that top 6 as well. I don't really expect them to be there. I think the Charge will lock in for the top 12. Maybe they can make a punt for top 6, depends really, but they should be happy, honestly, with where their season has ended. They went 0-7 in one of those stages. Yeah. And they're still back in top 12. That's incredible.
Absolutely. The Charge had more reasons to celebrate today because, of course, it was Happy's birthday. But, Josh, the team celebration wasn't quite as coordinated as their gameplay today.
It certainly wasn't, but I'm thankful for it because it's given me another you hate to see it, and I love bringing them for you. So let's run down this play. We've got to telestrate the play. And yeah, Custom's crying. Call him, please. All right, let's take a look at this. So, birthday cake. You know the classic play. We've done it to Brent here on the desk before. You lure Happy over, you bait him in. I will just note, he missed a candle there. He failed to blow out one of the candles. Where is it? Hello, where'd you go? There it is. and suddenly disappears. I mean, that's a magic trick if I've ever seen one. Anyway, Lord towards him, but this is the critical moment. Oh, no.
Boy.
A lot to break down here. First, incredible dodge. Look at that. Amazing. Still manages to tag him. Where does the balance go? About here. That little hop. Don't know if you saw it, but look at his leg. He had to do a hop, missed position.
Oh,
now
no.
his body weight, all of this body weight is way too far over this way. Way too far over here. Never gonna fly. He goes flying. Oh, all over the shirt. We got all over the shirt, all over the trousers. Nero
Yes.
covered in cake. Another thing to note as well.
Oh, faceplant.
Faceplant straight into it. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. It's unbelievable. The faceplant is amazing, but another thing to highlight as well, we love and respect Coca-Cola in this
Absolutely.
house.
Sprite?
Any other beverages, get them off the table, frankly. Get them off the table. And just to wind it back for a moment as well, Fraggy, the number one pickup for the Guangzhou Charge, because he saves this cake.
Absolutely.
It would be utterly unedible and all over Nero's lap if it wasn't for Fraggy.
Shut down.
And I mean, he played himself, honestly.
really did.
The coach played himself.
It's a classic maneuver,
I
really.
have
one of the greatest I've
question
ever
about
seen.
this, though. So we keep on mentioning this being Happy's birthday cake. Jara's name was on the cake too. Why is no one
Happy
talking
birthday,
about the
Chara.
second
Happy
don't know.
birthday.
Apparently
It's
his
not
birthday's
officially
coming up.
today. It's Happy's Day. Can you just let Happy's Day?
Well, what
All
about
right, so
Jara's day, though?
Listen, they
No.
can only afford the one cake. So
But he had both names on it.
sharing is caring. All right, let's move the show on. We got to talk, of course, about the Chengdu Hunters and the Gladiators because this was the closest battle of the day. A shocker if you're looking at the seeds, but the Hunters played Gladiators so tight.
yeah, and again, I think this is a question of almost the Gladiators and where they're standing right now, because it feels like they're still getting to grips of the meta almost.
Yep.
How they need to play. They're playing a lot of different sort of compositions. Not a lot of Reaper May, which we're seeing predominantly from a lot of teams right now.
It's kind of funny to me. Like Shofar was the one to play May and Reaper when it wasn't on Vogue, and now that it's on Vogue, he's like, nah, I'm not doing that.
He's
not
the
hipster.
classic hipster.
He's a real hipster in terms of heroes.
I think it's strange when I look at the Chengdu Hunters, actually, because they had an opportunity here to be able to beat the Gladiators, who were looking a little weak at coming off their loss against Houston, and maybe have some momentum going into their game against New York. And those would have been huge back-to-back games to win for Chengdu, would have propelled them into the top 12. And now they're at 11-12, not quite 11-13 even after this, where they're just outside of that playoff bubble with not that many opportunities to get back in. So this was actually a huge game for their season, and they let it slip through their fingers.
Unfortunate, really, wasn't it? Can I just mention as well, just because we've seen it right now, I'm incredibly happy to see King's Row back in the map pool.
Yes.
Love this map. I think it's fantastic.
Best map in Overwatch.
Shout out to Team 4, Overwatch developers, for the development of this map.
It's pretty incredible. They did actually run the May Reaper here quite a lot,
Yeah.
which I didn't think they would do.
Well, I mean, I think it's a successful look, especially on King's Row. It's a very choke-pointy map. I mean, if we're going to tie it back into it. And it seems to be the go-to for a lot of teams, because even if you run the Sombra into it, the Reaper is still effective even if he is a hack target. You generally don't want to be using, his Death Blossom. It's not a fight-winning ultimate. If anything, the majority of the time when they seem to use Death Blossom, teams end up losing the team fight. But I think it's interesting that they're not kind of opting into it. Now, Junker Town honestly can develop a meta of its own.
Here, that Jinmu moment, that's... Jinmu had a
flanking
fantastic game.
Hanzo.
The flanking Hanzo, though, was really what helped the Hunters out here.
Which
Yeah,
is
huge
also
play.
coincidentally not what Surfer was doing.
Yes,
In terms of his playstyle.
yeah, sitting very passive. It's almost the exact opposite. Look at
This
that play,
was
though.
so dirty from Decay. They show why they picked up the young man. It is
Yeah.
the DPS meta. Brandon, you put this man in your top 4. He impress you today?
Yeah, he had a bit of a weak beginning. It wasn't the strongest. I was kind of contemplating whether or not I wanted to put Ding back into the top 4.
You
very
like add and remove people.
You don't get another
Every
opportunity.
day.
No,
Yeah.
but this is not a solid victory from Gladiators, and this is a team. They are currently, they're 15-9 after today, but you do expect a lot more from one of these teams. I mean, this was the same team that we were constantly having a discussion. Are they in the top 4? Are they breaking into the elite boundaries of the top 3 teams? And it still feels like they're just a little bit slow to grasp what they really want to run.
I think we should call Among as well here, guys. 139 knockbacks. He's definitely the biggest ball on the court, right? Is there anyone better than his wrecking ball?
No.
Nobody can step up to his ball, honestly.
No.
He's got the biggest ball.
A couple of people have really honed their gameplay over the couple of weeks. Gesture's one of them. We've got to give a shout out to that guy. I think his wrecking ball's looking improved, but it's not Eamon levels yet. No, yeah, that requires lots of patience.
Well, he had a complete stage head start where no one touched the ball.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
I mean, just
head of the game, Zoe, head of the game, and yet the Hunters are still in the hunt for our top 12. Coming up after the break, the NYXL clinched their division, but can they come up clutch in the playoffs? We'll break it all down. Don't go anywhere. More Watchpoint is coming up. Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League. A big battle went down between Texas and Philadelphia today. It was the Houston Outlaws trying to pull off the upset over a sliding Fusion squad. And it looked great off the start. Dante brought out the Doomfist, opened up with a 4K. It was Houston on the point first, but then EQO and Philly took it right back.
And with every match win right now for Philadelphia Fusion that they get, they come closer and closer right now to just essentially defaulting into that top 12 at this point. Because again, they are playing against a lot of the weaker teams in terms of their division. I mean, all I'm saying is, you know, maybe you see a run and Philly just make it to the finals.
Well, not if they continue playing like this, though, because this was really sloppy, even though they did manage to get the win. It was all over the place. It was a bit of a clown fiesta at times, honestly.
I think 1,000 people fell in the well today.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was such a hungry well. It really was.
Very hungry hole. At number 3, or sorry, our second map, it's Anubis. It's Outlaws Shake Rat. You may see that later in the show. Spoiler.
I love this.
Jake,
disrespect.
The tires up close and personal. He was hunting down Carpe. It was a blast to watch.
I mean, this is Jake on a signature hero. You love to see it. And again, I mean, I don't know what to say other than it was a sloppy game. Now that you put it back in my mind.
I don't actually think there was too much to really dissect here, other than a lot of drawn-out, brawly fights, and that's pretty much what it was all about. And they both need to clean it up, because that's not how you will actually succeed against any of the top teams in this league.
Yeah.
Now, this was historically a bad map for both teams, right? What did you think of Fusion on Hollywood today?
I think they tended to get the better end of it, mostly because they seem a little more focused with their tanks, so they can grind it out and find picks where they don't need to. Havana was very good for Fusion.
Carpe.
But this is also where I want to talk about the utter mental boom, I think, from the Outlaws as well.
Yeah.
As it went into the double overtime, and oh my word, like I couldn't believe how far Fusions were pushing it.
Right.
Like Houston Outlaws. What are you going to say, Bill?
Well, my point is that I think the Philadelphia Fusion remember back to their playoff run from last year, and that if they abuse angles with EQO, so the whole time, Neptuno, when he was playing Mercy, is just hard-pocketing EQO, going on these Hanzo Mercy flanks, and that makes so much room for Carpe on the Widowmaker. And if they hit their shots, they can just obliterate teams, and that's such a cool style of Overwatch.
I mean, that is the style they really made a run to the finals with, but the issue is you can't play that on every map. You can play that on Junkertown, certain sections of Havana.
Yeah, Havana, Point A, some of Volskaya, stuff like that. Has to be big and open, though.
Also, with the heroes we're currently seeing a lot of, and knowing that EKO used to be such a sneaky player, is like they see it coming. It's not like it can come from obvious angles anymore. So they would really need to work on some very little pocket strategy.
Anyone who scouts, they're going to see it coming.
Pretty much.
I am super excited, though, to see what they do if they do make it into that top 12. Like, I reckon Philly are just going to be... there's going to be a fire in them, honestly. If they know that they get to play in front of that home crowd in the grand finals, like, the potential's there. This team, we know they can go on a run. Don't smirk at me.
I love
we know they can go on a run.
You guys can't see it on camera, but Josh's reactions every time Brent talks about Philly today, just pure disappointment.
We know they can go on a run. Don't put me down.
Pure disappointment.
You're playing into the anime.
I want to see it, man.
One team we can all be proud of today is the NYXL. Let's move this party on because they today had a chance to lock up a top 2 spot in the season playoffs. They could win the Atlantic Division, but first they had to go up against the Paris Eternal and take them down with at least 3 maps. Sabiolbi comes out on fire on the Reaper. Soon also answering back with the McCree. But Brent, what did you see in this first map?
Way better showing from NYXL. Straight out the park. Myself, I should say, and Johnny. Oh, wait, no, I'm...
Me, myself, and
Me, myself, and Johnny.
The 3 of us.
That's a terrible sitcom no one would watch.
Rama, not in the right state of mind for it right now. But what I will say is that New York Excel have really stepped up a lot of their gameplay. And they've got a firm understanding of the meta right now. In their post-game interview, they admitted the exact same thing.
Yep.
They were uncertain coming into the meta in week 1, but they've analyzed what compositions are being ran, and this May Reaper is really working for them.
I love how much they are playing to their strength now, and their strength not only being having that good support duo in the back. The strength also being having those versatile players such as Libero who can flex over to literally anything you want him to, and then setting up players such as Nene as well as Sabiolbi, who both had fantastic showings today. Nene loved him on the Reaper just as much as I love Sabiolbi on that Reaper, actually. And again, this was the first time Sabiolbi actually even played that hero.
Did you guys see that Animo play, by the way? The 2K on the Mercy, but also props to Mono surviving with like 6 HP.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that they've improved. Not Animo getting kills on the Mercy, but Mano surviving. Because Mano and Meko always seemed a little uncomfortable when they were playing Orisa Hog. Now they're playing majority Orisa Diva, and Meko's set it up so that he knows when to support Mano, when they need to go forwards, when they need to back off, and to be able to eat those halts that come in from the enemy Orisa as well. It's looking much cleaner from New York when they looked so sloppy when they were playing against Gladiators.
It looked like New York, to me, was kind of celebrating on this map on Havana. Was there anything from Paris, though, that stood out for you guys? Because this is the map they took.
I mean, Soon and Shadowburn looked fairly decent. More so than thinking that this is great for Eternal or terrible for New York, the series as a whole, as much as we shouldn't overreact to one bad loss to the Gladiators, I don't want to overreact to one good win over Paris as well. Because they performed well, but it was against Paris, who haven't been that great.
The NYXL have clinched the division, but they have a history of struggling in the playoffs. They haven't made a stage final all year. So, Bren, how far do you expect them to get in our season playoffs here in 2019?
Well, I know Josh just said don't overreact, but I'm going to overreact, honestly, because they haven't had the greatest history in playoffs. Hopefully they learned their lesson by now, but it seems like they've got all the pieces to really make a run for it. They've got the Reaper May, if that stays consistently as the meta that we're seeing, we're going to see that, I think, them playing it very well. But also, the weaknesses that you'd expect of a team running that composition, like the inability to play maybe double sniper comps, we didn't see that. They absolutely dominated Soon, and Soon's been playing really well on the Widowmaker and the Hanzo in particular, but then they just made him look like a little toddler on the battlefield. It wasn't even funny. He absolutely, I know this is crude, he pooed on them. It was just ridiculous.
Don't get crude on my show.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, man. It bodes really well, but as well, we have seen them in playoffs before, and every time they kind of just crumble a little bit. So
you've just been contradicting yourself for the last 3 minutes.
Oh,
yeah, you're doing great. But
yeah, I know.
Zoe, sorry, I cut you off before that graphic came up. What are your thoughts on the NYXL right now?
Well, actually, I when you cut me off, I more wanted to talk about Paris. But you know what? Since it was more on a negative side, I'm not going to.
You're just going to hold that one in the back pocket.
Hold that one and then use it for the pre-show next time they play.
Boom.
But you know what I want to talk about? I do want to talk about people we don't really see on stage as much, but more on the social sides. I really feel like all the teams stepped up their social media game hard by hiring some fantastic artists.
This is so good.
To make promo art for them and for the matches they have coming up, such as this one. Not sure if it actually references anything, but the team.
Hotline Miami.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that one. That one was lost. I just looked at it. It was like cigar.
Yeah, it is dope.
That was all I saw. And all the teams have been stepping it up. So, like, big shout out to everyone who's working on these.
I saw a bunch of comments on Instagram where people were trying to, like, conspiracy theory it. They had their tinfoil hats on. They were like, Pine's old alias was Chicken. They're going to run Pine.
The Chicken Reaper!
Didn't really happen.
NYXL, if you want to make posters and send them to all of us, we will put them all up in our bedroom. Thank you so much to the artists who have been contributing. And thank you to everyone who watched the games. We have one bedroom, guys. They don't pay us a lot. But coming up on the other side of the break, we got the over-the-top moments. There's 5 incredible ones. You don't want to miss it.
If you thought this was going to be easy, you haven't been paying attention. What a journey for Sable B.
Jonak is back.
They finally hit their stride, and they have started to look so strong.
Jake gets booped off the side.
Even when you think NYXL is out of it, they know they're still in.
The EMP, it hurts. That's going to leave a mark.
New York XL, an elite top team in the league.
And here we go. They net themselves a series, and with that win, they are your Atlantic Division champions.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
What were our most over-the-top moments of the day? You're about to find out. Starting at number 5, Joshua, what do you got for me?
I got the lasagna that killed Monte Cristo. It wasn't a sandwich in the end that did it. It was that delicious lasagna that the Houston Outlaws poisoned.
Texas.
Well, what is in J-Crab poison?
I can show you later after the show. At number 4, it's Dante. He brought out my favorite hero, Brett. Did you know that's a drink? Look at this guy. 4 punches, 1 play.
Yeah, Dante, you know, he's got the moves, he's got the uppercuts, the seismic slams, he's got the rocket punches. Yeah, I named all the abilities. Let's go, baby.
Impressive.
Thank
You hit F1 a lot.
You're amazing.
At number 3, it's Carpe. Sorry, what did he do?
Well, clicking hits, what he does best. It's just kind of his jam.
Dose?
Love him.
One more.
A little bit clean.
Give us 3. Oh, my Hanzo.
That final one a headshot?
Can we watch Jake one more time? Like, what do you do against this?
Okay. Just get good, full hit. 1, 2,
Ouch.
Nah,
All
I
right.
don't think you're doing anything.
Numero dos, Brenji.
Shaz shutting down the Dragon Blade. There we go. Giving the old charging
That's
volley.
so good.
I hate it when this happens to me. It's very rare because I'm actually a supremely gifted gamer, but it does happen.
Like Jinmu, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Look at this man.
You get a speed boost when you use Coalescence, right? Like a speed increase. I think that was the only thing that allowed him to get away.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
There he
clean,
is.
that.
So clean.
Shaz shutting it down. The Gladiators get the victory in a very tight match against the Hunters in a Game 5.
Number one.
Number one, though, this is that Game 5, and Decay dodges the Doom and sticks him on the way out.
Take it away, Puckett.
Just did.
Yeah, well
I
done.
handed it off. And
Great
you
stick.
picked
Honestly,
it up,
though,
you dropped it back.
I don't know what it is, man. Just the game sense to recognize that he could go for that play is astonishing.
The pulse bomb actually lands on his fist. It lands on the Doomfist's fist.
It was hard.
Goodness me, man's sake, Bren.
Goodness
Jeez.
me, man.
Throwback to Contender. Shout out to you guys.
Boom,
Zero.
season 1. It was actually season 1, not season 0.
Was it season 1?
Season 1.
Nice. History
Nobody
lesson
cares.
with Brent. There you go. Nobody
That's right,
cares,
nobody
Brent.
does
It's
care.
right. It's late. And guess what? When we come back, we've got a fantastic story for you. It's what's in store tomorrow. 4 games coming your way. We'll tell you the big ones after this. The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Goes in on the Carpe, gets the kill. The V5 and still waiting to use that barrage. Maybe now's the time he's gonna go for it. And that's 2. Neptuno and EQO not able to do anything about it. Boombox wasn't around to land that sleep dart.
Jinmu kills everyone.
Pretty much. EQO with the kill on the Nero. Philadelphia bringing it back. They want to take us to that map 5, and they might be doing just that. EQO with the 3 kills. Got the nano boost as well. Going skeet shooting, but it doesn't matter. It is over. Does have to be worried about Sonic Arrow. Shows him everybody is. He's just going to throw the Dragon Strike in there. Get about it down. Great hold. Oh, the halt. Setting up profit for the 4K. That is the kind of play we saw a lot last year from Gesture.
Axel's trying to break line of sight as much as he can. Time for the nano blade. No, it's going to be a hold as well. This could be nasty, but he gets hit with a body grenade right at the beginning. Still able to find Byram, and he goes upstairs. Gets himself 3. And that's just the Haxel we've come to expect.
Ult's coming in, but Envy gets pulled in first, and Nureg got the shot to help take him down, and Nureg, oh my goodness, gets the triple, goes forward up towards Coma, and he takes him down as well. Godreg, he is on the stage.
It's the weekend, baby, and it all starts with the Atlanta Reign going up against the Paris Eternal. Florida Mayhem followed up against the London Spitfire. That's going to be rough. Dallas tries to keep their season alive against the Los Angeles Valiant. And the other LA team, the Gladiators, are going to close out the day in a big one against the San Francisco Shock. With all that going down tomorrow, Zoe, what is the match to look out for? What are you looking at on Saturday?
Well, I want to see the Gladiators facing off against the San Francisco Shock. This ought to be a good one. It's going to be once more a big battle of the damage dealers. I want to see Sinatra taking on DK, who kind of ran away with the show today.
Yep. I mean, that's a very easy answer, honestly. I mean, you look at that match. Not to say it wasn't a good
I was
it looked to me like
Get
it was
out
an
of my
insult.
arena,
It wasn't an
sir.
insult at all. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer almost. You know, you look at this match, I think this is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
The
it was
makings
such a
were phenomenal.
no-brainer. Even so, he got it right.
Can I
That's not what I meant.
Can I ask about the heroes? You want to see those, Zoe, from these two guys? You want to see the Tracer battle? You want to see Doomfist?
I want to honestly see it all.
Yeah, I put a foot in my mouth now. I feel like I don't know.
No, come, Bren. Please
Bring
take
out
us
Tenny,
away.
Bren.
What
Yeah,
you
I'm going to
saying?
stop talking.
respectful.
Turn off my mic, please.
Sinatra's Doomfist looked really clean in that last match, actually. That's what I want to see. More than the Tracer battle. I don't really want to see Sinatra's Tracer. It was cool once, but nah,
You don't want to see it?
Nah.
What do you want to see instead?
I'd rather have Striker's Tracer. I want Striker Tracer.
Well, Josh.
And Yeah.
Really respect your choice.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very respectful.
Seriously,
of the
production, you can
Postshow.
mute Brent. I got this. Here we go, guys. Let's take a look at our Twitch leaderboards. We always got to check in with who our fans are cheering for. Atlanta Reign, the Spark, New York in your top 3. Outlaws are in the top 4 alongside the Fuel in your top 5. Texas still representing the Gladiators, trying to stay in your top 6, both in the standings and in the cheer bits. But let's take a look at who our individuals are. Lex Bobby at number 6. We got Melanin at number 9. And Ixie at number 10. Nothing has changed since yesterday.
No, it has.
Nope.
Houston Outlaws broke the 3 million bits mark. I don't know which
How did
individual
we
pushed
miss
them
that?
over, but
Wow.
yeah, they broke 3 million. That's
The
like
music really makes this segment.
310,000.
I was losing sleep over that one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Can you do that math again? What was that?
That's 310,000 a million.
310,000.
Yeah. That's how maths works.
On that note, I'm going to end the show, guys, because coming up after this, we got the very famous Among. Yes, bless him. He and his Wrecking Ball will be on the show exclusively on twitch.tv. So if you don't have your All Access Pass, get it right now. Enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Don't mess with Texas.